FOMO is real, and like I want the best in life, and it's tough when you're seeing other people getting the blessings you want out of life. I remember this moment in my life where it felt like life just wasn't going my way. I was turning 30. I was single. I had no prospects of finding a wife. And on top of this, I just got let go from my job. And it was like my dream job. This is where I had my identity and my hopes, my dreams, my everything. And it all came crashing down. And I just suffered from so much kind of anxiety and FOMO. I felt like the boat left me at the shore of my destiny. And this is something I've always struggled with, because it's so easy to define success as the position and the promotion. And when I was in this place, 30, single, just lost what I would consider my dream job at the time. And over the next year or two, I'd get on LinkedIn and I would see my friends getting promoted to VP of Finance, CFO, CEO, and all these things. And I just felt like I was stagnant. What am I doing? Where am I going? I felt like I was missing out on life. And it's so hard not to focus on tomorrow, but to rest in today and to be thankful for what God has provided. This verse, Matthew 6:33-34, has always helped me in those moments. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. That should be our goal. That should be our aim in everything we do. And then it says, and all these things will be added to you as well. God will worry about the best. God will worry about the blessings of your life. And then it goes on, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough troubles of its own. And just learning to be present has been one of my greatest challenges. Learning to be at peace in today. So with the promise and the prophetic, you can get caught up in what God is doing tomorrow and totally lose focus on what God is doing today. And that's the power of gratitude, getting caught up in what God is doing today. Gratitude allows us to be present. And if you're not present, you can't be caught up in the presence of God. Being present is what allows you to connect in the moment, because life isn't about success. Life is about the stories we live and make with the people we love. And everything and everyone is vying for our attention, but it steals us from the people that matter most. Why are we doing life? What is this all about? When you're caught up in a season of preparation, you are prepared to be promoted and you feel like you're being set up for it. But in that moment, when I got let go from my job, it was such a setback. But I didn't realize this closed door was God's redirection to my future, to a better future than I had even imagined. And then all of a sudden things change. The story flips, the script is rewritten, God invades, and he brings along something that was way better than you ever anticipated. God's timing is always so much better than our timing. And I can't imagine where I am today 5 years ago. If I didn't go through the valley, I would have never met my wife. I would have never had my daughter. I would have never moved to a new city with an amazing church family and then eventually have a house where it's not just a house, it's a home. And we're building a future, a dream, a hope that I never saw coming. It just God baffles my mind with how good and great and glorious he is, that he can take what feels like you missed the boat, like you were left behind, that everyone's ahead of you, and he brings you right to the place where you should be, that you've always wanted to be. So in those years where I felt like all my friends were passing me by, being promoted, being blessed, starting businesses and all this, God had his own story for me. And when I was willing to follow him through the wilderness, on the other side, I found something far better. I met Megan through online dating. I relocated to Lancaster, Ohio. We're in this amazing church community, serving God, advancing his kingdom. We have this amazing daughter, Annie, 7 months old now. We moved into an amazing house, being made a home. And I look back now, Annie. After all those setbacks, I realized God truly was setting me up for some of the greatest blessings and promises of my life. Now I get to live with this pumpkin spice latte. And she's such a joy, even though like she can be sick, keeping us up late at night through the toughest times. When you're on the late night cracker run for your wife to get crackers and water, it's easy. You can wish away the hard today for the easier tomorrows. But how do we stay thankful for every moment? It is a joy. It is a joy. And I was reminded of this past weekend when we traveled to Chicago and we watched my brother get married. We just got to dance together and just remember, like, man, step away from the grind of life to the Monday to Friday and take a moment and dance. And it was so delightful because, like, relationships bring such meaning. Marriage brings such meaning. And when I was 30 and thought that would never happen, God finally brought an amazing lady into my life and to enjoy that. But life gets to this point where it feels super weighty and you feel the burden of finances, you feel the burden of responsibilities, and then you also feel the burden of like the promise and your destiny and wanting to make things happen. But I have to come back to Jesus' words where he said, my burden is easy, my yoke is light. And how do you live in a place where life is easy, life is peaceful, life is joyous, and life isn't about success. Life is about the stories we live and make with the people we love. And everything and everyone is